Podcast. We are continuing our post-trip content. Naughty's back! Naughty's back. Right, so this time we are going to talk about experience of attending the PWHL in person. We've already had episodes we talked about experience of attending the two cities that we were in. But we also wanted to talk about what it was like attending the PWHL in person. Because it's a completely different experience to just streaming it on the YouTube, whether that be through your smartphones, your tablets, or your tellies. Yeah. It's a completely different experience. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think that's the thing that you can really be prepared for before you go. Is that it's going to be completely different compared to watching it on a screen. And I think we did notice those differences, particularly in terms of that split tie reactions to goals. Yeah. Which we'll come on to later on. Yeah. I mean, just So we've been involved with the PWHL from day one. We are day one supporters of the PWHL. So we've been used to just streaming it on the YouTube, and I'd say we do an amazing broadcast setup. We did. I'm really impressed with how we go about our broadcasting. We have an outstanding team. I love how you don't have a set pair for each team. You get like a good rotation. Yeah, I do love that. I love that. One or two people might just stick with the same team, but you do get every now and then a fair mix of different broadcasters. I do like that. I do quite like that. Yeah, we have a really good, outstanding team of broadcasters who actually know what they're doing, which is good compared to AHL, where sometimes we watch AHL, you just think it just feels like a schoolboys club. Just basically just had two words, many shandies. And just got a bit wild on the rum, George. Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah. Haven't touched any today. Not yet, he hasn't. So we just knew it was gonna be different. But it felt a bit weird, being there and not having to watch on the screen and not used to having our broadcasting team, Alexis. Yeah, that felt a bit weird. Yeah, it's like, because we're actually there, we don't need to actually bother getting the broadcast now. Yeah, they're actually there somewhere in the balconies. Yeah, broadcasting away. Yeah, and we are in the gallows. But it's incredible being there, and yeah. So do you want to talk about split? Yeah. Well, I think sometimes when we watch a game, we can't have a bit of like a delayed reaction to a goal. Like a goal gets scored, and we can't have that like little delayed reaction because I don't think we're quite prepared for it. It's happened quite a fair few times, both in overtime and just in standard regulation. And you guys are like, that my answer, Whereas we didn't have that in the actual venues. In the actual venues, we knew when the goal had been scored. We just knew. It wasn't that's a difference compared to experience in person and watching on at home. Is that you had that split reaction, right? That you didn't have that split reaction in the arenas. You just knew as soon as the goal was scored, you would outrightly see. Yeah, we didn't have that much groaning either, because obviously we didn't concede that many goals. No. 1 to Seattle, 3 to York, and obviously our didn't get anywhere close to our net. No, not last game. Yeah, they didn't put that many shots on goal a lot. Oh, well, that last game. No, less than. They had less than Seattle had. Which is interesting because I remember coming away from that first game thinking, I'm not sure Seattle really brought it. You did mention that in your quote. Yeah, you kind of felt that Seattle actually didn't really kind of bring their A game. And this was a team who was coming off a massive home win against the World Cup contending Boston Fleet. Yeah. Literally the night before we flew out, Seattle was hosting Boston, Clyde Pledge, and got a massive comeback regulation win over them. And so this was a team that was coming into Grand Casino Arena, literally riding off the wave of having taken down one top contender regulation because they then had gone into another one. Yeah, so I remember like, your quote, you kind of felt you didn't think Seattle already brought their own game. And yet Ottawa was even worse, because at least Seattle, I kind of felt Seattle did try to get some scoring attempts, whereas Ottawa, they just didn't really come alive, they didn't really come to play. So that was interesting, But, and I think the actual game experience was an incredible film. Yeah, I mean, you had just incredible, the lights and everything, getting the purple that worked really well. I did love the pre-intro, how you just basically just use pass footage. Yeah, because in the NHL, a lot of teams basically just go full on showboating, and I will admit, I am guilty of that in San Jose. We have had some impressive pre-game intros every now and then. Yeah, but if you have been to an NHL game, a lot of the teams in the NHL do like to. I don't know if you do this, Nordy. But a lot of the NHL teams, they do like to showboat when it comes to their pre-intros, and that's. But whereas for us, it was more of a, I think it was more of a down-to-earth kind of thing. You showed a lot of footage from previous games, which I think was quite nice, because you don't need to do the massive big show dance and lighting and all that, and have some massive prop drop down from the ceiling. Because I can tell you, that's been done to death. You just want to have something intimate, a good track. A good backing track. You just need to do something simple. Just try and get the crowd ready and raring to go when the team takes that first entrance out to the ice. And I think the starting lineups, that was also, I think, done quite niche as well, simple as well, but that's fine. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes less is more, and I don't think we need to basically go big and out for like the pre-intro. That just do like a little show reel of previous games, previous highlights, put that together. As per se, get a good backing track to it, get a good beat, and then you just bring the team out and you just go from there. Because obviously, the pre-game intro stuff, that is for the people in the arena. You at home, you don't see that. You guys are on a TV timeout when that's going on. You don't get to see that. So that's really just odd. So you don't want it to be too flashy, because it's only really for those who are in the arena who are going to be seeing that. It's not for the people at home, unless somebody posts it onto YouTube. Which you did. No, I posted separately. No. Separately, I posted it onto Instagram. The pre-game intros are on YouTube in the package highlights I did, but if you want to watch them just separately, you have to go onto my Instagram. I made that call. So that was quite nice. That was quite fun, and obviously, just the games itself, just being there, the atmosphere is absolutely incredible. Fans just engaging from start to finish, and it's just such an incredible feeling, being there. I mean, I remember that first game, the three of us just literally were, honestly, if you were with us that first game, Dawsey, you might have ended up on the floor. Yeah! I mean, the three of us just literally letting out in the run up to the start of the game. Literally just letting out, like, just these, like, bursts of emotional joy. Obviously the fact that we were actually here in Grand Casino, we're actually there, we're actually attending these games for real. It's just such an incredible moment, and it's something that, you know, you don't get to do every so often. I know I keep saying I want to make more recurring regular trips out there with the PWHL. I don't want to make it lengthy cuts like I have done with how I was saying, you know, those were not deliberate, it's just the way life has gone. You know, it's just, I mean, never in a million years did I think. I mean, we go back to the start of my women's hockey journey 16 years ago with the Bank Olympics. Never in a million years did I think I'd actually get out there and attend an actual women's game in real life, in person. It was just such an incredible feeling of something that you're not going to have the opportunity to do every single day. And it's just incredible to be out there and just soak it all in. And obviously being in such a great city, which was so hospitable to us, just made it even better. I mean, Minneapolis did such a great job of making me feel so welcome. I just want to get back out there. Yeah, I just want to get back out there. Well, if I'm going to ask the $1 million question, George, if you were asked to emigrate to the States, which place would you go? I'd have to say Minneapolis, just because of how, just because how friendly it was, and just made you feel so welcoming and loving. Obviously, I'd have to get used to being with all day around snow, but I think that's a compromise I can make. You did actually cope quite well, actually. It was when we were in Denver. That was a bit of a problem because Denver had the ice. Yeah, I don't think Denver were actually prepared for the snow, whereas Minneapolis actually is prepared for the snow. So if you are thinking about going to Minneapolis, don't worry about being in the snow, because they know what to do with that. They do. They know how to handle, like, massive snowfall. Yeah. So if you're down a very snowy day, do not worry. They know what they're doing. Yeah. And we were fine. Yeah, we were fine. Yeah. Denver, I agree with my part here. Denver, you did struggle because obviously Denver we had ice. And we also had mist. We had bad weather in Denver, full stop. And yet everyone was saying about how, oh, well, we're up and you have massive this and that. And I was like, oh, calm down. We are going to the state of hockey. What do you expect, dears? What do you expect, loves? What do you expect? Okay? Denver we weren't prepared for, because Denver was quite icy. And it was also very misty. I can't remember last time I was actually in misty weather. Anyway, right, but yeah, but just being there as a whole was just such an amazing experience. And you can't really compare to what it's like being there in person compared to just watching it, you know, on the screen. Particularly for the atmosphere alone. I mean, it's so raucous when you're there. I mean, we get a feeling that when we're here watching on our screens, but when you're actually there, the decibel, it just goes up like an extra level. Yeah, so they really do crank it up full volume, and it's just incredible experience. And of course, also we got to have WC2610, the Tego Tour game as well, and that I thought was even more focused there. Yeah. But that's because we were in a market that was really passionate, that wants to be the league, is desperate to be the league, and just showcase why they are the contenders for expansion. Yeah. It was just such an incredible being in Denver. But absolutely loved being in Minneapolis. It was just incredible. And obviously to attend these games in Minneapolis was just incredible. Yeah, it was amazing. And Grand Rapids is a really nice arena. The only problem is the side we were on, we couldn't see our championship banners. Well, that first game I tried to spot where I thought, oh, I can't see them. And these are like, oh, they must be on the other side. We're like, damn it! Damn it! Where at least people were spared of that mode of seeing us three get roached to the rectum with those two in the rafters. Yeah, remember we did the first panel video and you pointed out if we do get to go bumpers, we might be roached to the and people are like, really? It's been so go for it. And we're like, well, that's our badness. But actually, we were on the, obviously, yeah, because we were in block 4 and 5, and we could only really make out a lot of these retirement banners that Wild had, so I'm guessing R2 must have been on the upper side. So what, but I think we were in a really good block, yeah, for us. I mean, I think being block 1 and 5 kind of worked well. I think that was just a nice block to be in. It kind of worked well for both games. I think that we're in Minneapolis. I think that was fine. Yeah, I didn't really have any complaints here. It was fine. Nah, absolutely fine. No problem. No problem. We're being in the middle. We don't normally go in the middle. I thought it would work for my eyesight. Yeah. Which he did. Yeah. Which he absolutely did. He made the right call there, George. Yeah. Well, because PWHL, it doesn't really matter where we sit. No, it's fine. But ultimately, PWHL, we've got to get this right. And I think you did a good call with that. You did a good call. I honestly, if the next one, if that's where we're gonna go down, I wouldn't have a problem. No, I think being block 1 and 5 can't work fine. I think that was the right block for us. Yeah. So obviously, when you're planning to do these videos, you've got to do what's literally, best for you, and that means you have to go into a particular block each time. Then that's what you do. Yeah, that's what you do. You go over that block, and you stick with it, and you make that your block. So, yeah. Ultimately. And of course, also for the fire game, we got to have Nordy with us. So that was incredible. So obviously, as we talked about on the Child Diary, we couldn't find the team store on the first game, which in a way was kind of a blessing in disguise, because we could not prepare for the flight back from Denver to Minneapolis going wrong. Now, so obviously, if we had managed to find the team store on the first day and got Nordy and that wild jersey sorted, then if everything had still played out the way it did, then we would have been in even more bigger trouble than what we actually were. Yeah. Because in the end, we actually did manage, because obviously I was able to find him, and I was able to, I'll just go get it. Yep. Yeah, and we were also able to nab this wild jersey, which of course I've worn several times now. Getting quite used to it now, actually. That's good, because obviously you're in a dual affiliation. You've got to get used to it. Yep. That's quite nice. Lovely. So, yeah, so it was kind of a blessing in disguise. We weren't able to find that team for the first game, because obviously if what happened still happened, then we would have been even more bigger shit. We would have been in a bigger shit's creek than we actually were. We would have needed a bigger paddle to get ourselves out of that. But anyway, but it's all fine. It all came fine in the end. Eventually. At least we got it back in order to go home. So if we couldn't get it back to go home with, then that would have been an even bigger problem. I know I would have had to have bought another Frost jersey. Because who knows when that game would have come back if it wasn't there. On the day we'll fly back out. So I've learnt my lesson, boys and girls. Next time I'm wearing this to go. I'm not taking a jumper with me next time, because I don't need a jumper. It was too warm. I did not need a jumper with me. It was too warm being there for me. especially in all the airports, it was too warm. Whereas this is fine, because this is these jerseys are very lightweight. So, you could technically wear these as jumpers. Yeah. So, and then a lot of people just would only wear them for game days, but you can actually wear these all year round, or wear out during the winter and during the autumn, winter, spring months. Just don't do them for summer. Just don't do it for summer; it's too warm. For that, yeah. So I am on the next trip. I am going to be wearing this on the flights. So. If you're going to be in Manchester Airport, you'll be seeing, and I'm flying out to a Frost game, you'll know what to look out for! I'm not taking that risk again. I'm sorry, this is never going in a suitcase ever again. I'm not taking that risk. I am not taking that risk again. This is never ever going in a suitcase again. It's just not. I'm not taking that risk again. Yes, all well it ends well, because I did get a Wild jersey, and of course I've got an affiliation with the Wild in the HL along with my Sharks. But what if our PHL team was in a market that I don't have an affiliation with an HL team with? You would have been screwed. Would have had to buy a jersey of a team I don't like, put that on because I need a jersey, and then have to just work for a whole game. Anyway, no. Can I just also support for that merch? Go on. If you are trying to buy PHL merch, you need to go on Gondos. Because we made 2 trips to the Wild's team store. We did one the day before the last game. We did one on the day of the last game. Now the day before, when we were back in Nordy, it was mainly just the Wild stuff. And then we were back on the next day, we had more Frost stuff, because it was a Frost game. So just bear in mind, if you are there for PHL hockey, you want to visit the team store beforehand, you need to do it on Gondos, because you got a better chance there, so you want exactly. Well said there, lady. So it was all well the end for the end. But at least on the next time, we can take Nordy for all the games on our trip, rather than just having to be there for one. Absolutely. So you've been coming with the whole time next time Nordy, rather than just the one game. Who knows? Yeah, do I do a quick wave to everybody back at Minnesota? Hi Minneapolis, miss you. Yes, we might be seeing a Wild game next time. Who knows? Yeah. Well, it's just the way it was just a classic case of the way this game was worked. Nordy was in Minneapolis when we weren't, and he wasn't in Minneapolis when we were. It's just the way the schedules worked. It's just the way the schedules worked. So that's the way it went. Who knows? Next time it might not be the case. Could be. So we'll tell those. But it's just honestly, attending these games in person was just an absolute incredible feeling. Yeah, it really was. It really just be able to be there and have that experience. Having been involved with this league, from day one. And only obviously just watch on the screens, actually on YouTube, and then you go there and you actually are there in person, and you get to have that experience. Or it's like being there. It's just there is no comparison really. There's just really no comparison to what it's like being at a PHL game in person compared to watching it back home. It's just an incredible feeling, being there, and I can't recommend it enough. If you haven't been to PHL in person yet, literally get out there, whether it's to World DT's prior venues or take a tour game, just get out there. Get out there, have that experience, and honestly, you just will not regret it. It's just an amazing time, and a lot more friendly than being an NHL game. Yeah. Well, I feel with PHL, you're there for the hockey. You are there for hockey. And you just see a great game of hockey at play. The NHL, anything goes. Yeah. And there are times when I've seen an NHL game where hockey has not been the forefront and centre of it. So I think that's the big difference between PHL and AHL. With PHL, it's all about the hockey. With AHL, you get just all sorts. Yeah, you just get all sorts, and I'm just sick of it. Yeah, I'm just sick of it. Yeah, I'm just getting tired of the AHL now. Really, yeah. Just these days, I couldn't really care less if I'm watching an AHL game or not. I just couldn't. Whereas the PHL, oh yeah, all year round. Yeah, all year round if I could. Just incredible. It was just incredible. Just an incredible experience being there. Just incredible. So, have you two got any more thoughts you want to add before I wrap it up? Honestly, just get down there. We can't stress it enough. If you have not been to a game in person, get down there, experience it for yourselves, have that opportunity, just take it all in, and just because we just had an incredible time. We look forward to it all over again very soon. Yeah. Oh yeah. Ideally, we want to make recurring trips out to the PHL where financially and humanely possible. Yeah. So we're not gonna have lengthy gaps between trips to Minneapolis. Yeah. We're gonna try and where possible get out there as often as possibly can. Any more thoughts, people? There's just nothing like it. There just isn't anything like it. It's just no comparison. There's just nothing like it out there right now. This is literally second to none. Literally second to none. Yeah. I mean, we could easily sit here all night and talk about it, and just keep singing our praises. But I think we'll just call it. Yeah, we'll call it there. We've done well there today, guys. Yeah. Like I said, if you have not been to a PHL game yet, then seriously, what are you waiting for? Literally get out there and experience it yourselves and just have the best time of your lives. Because I know we did for that week. Yeah. For that week, I mean, we would have loved it to have been longer. Yeah. We would have loved maybe like at least an extra game. Yeah. Like maybe stretch into a 4-game homestand. Yeah. That would have been nice. Yeah. That would have been great. But honestly, for that 1 week, we had just the incredible time, and we just can't wait to do it all over again. And just have so many incredible experiences with the PHL for many, many, many years to come. So we're going to try and get as many trips in as possibly can over the next several years. We'll leave it there. We could keep going actually. We could keep going, but I think we'll stop there. And we'll say thank you for joining us, and until next time, take care.